And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 2 of the Collector's Edition Hoo-Ha, and of course also another Commander review. We've here at 2nd July, we've got the last bunch of Commanders available to the Collector's Edition, gentlemen, right off the bat anyways. And what do we get? We already get Mechanized Support, which I've already detailed because, you know, it was there and I got it. But, you know, again, we get Guards Rifle, Anti-Tank Gun Ambush, Marked Vehicle, ISU-152, Bombing Strikes, all nice and handy. Certainly a powerful doctrine in its own right. And certainly if you think, looking at this, I would certainly not argue against you getting it even on its own, which it probably will be eventually. I don't know when though. Then we get, of course, the Terror Tactics as well, part of the Collector's Edition. I've pretty much went through this. Mustachio Gentleman's Abilities, again very late game heavy doctrine. Then we move on to the Armored Assault Tactics, also very late game sort of style doctrine, part of the Guards motor. We just popping up there sort of for better viewing. But we get the radio intercept ability, and then all of a sudden it moves up to the heavier end of things. We get the vehicle crew repair training, T-3045s. In that sense, it's got a bit in common with Guards motor, but we also get the IS-2 and the Sturmovik attacks. So a much more heavier end doctrine, but also one, you know, really if you know, supporting armored assaults. With radio intercept, you can sort of get an idea of what's going on with your opponents. Vehicle crew repair training can always keep, you know, IS-2 sort of semi-repaired. And of course the Sturmovik attacks can sort of be great for breaking up things during the assault. So overall handy doctrine, certainly not something I would argue against purchasing if it came down to that. Now of course we come to the gems. I'll just slather them up here on the wall. The new ones we get the Storm Doctrine, which I would say from the German viewpoint is probably the weakest of the three doctrine. It seems a bit confused, and there's definitely not very much storm about it. You get ambush camouflage, which is, well, defensive for starters, and of course only affects a few set of units. Grenadiers, Panzergrenadiers, and heavy machine guns. You get regal anti-tank mines, which again you require lay down with a half track. Also defensive, so already there's a definite lack of the storm part, which, you know, involves, you know, attacking with lots of firepower. Then you get tactical movement, that's certainly stormier. But, you know, not quite getting there. Then you get the Howitzer, and then you get the Stuka Bombing Strike. I mean, the Stuka Bombing Strike, Howitzer, all that's certainly nice, but the rest of the doctrine, it doesn't quite mesh with the name in that sense. And, you know, unless you're looking at this and going, wow, this is 5 kinds of different awesome, I'll be getting that no matter what, you know, go get it. But I'd not recommend this doctrine to anyone otherwise, really, to be honest. I'm sorry, but here, I think that one needs to be redone. Popping over to the Lightning War Doctrine, what do we get? We get Jaeger Light Infantry upgrade already there. That's a great upgrade. We get Relief Infantry, so in that sense, you know, can splash it together with Osttruppen. And I wonder actually if you can upgrade the Osttruppen with the Gewehr 43, because that would really be nasty. Then you also get Tactical Movement, again something that can be used even, you know, to boost your Osttruppen if it comes down to that. You get the Tiger Tank, which, you know, is actually something that doesn't require munitions in all of this, and that's also another problem with the previous one. It's very, again, heavy on munitions, and again that's always been a bit of a problem with the German doctrine. So many heavy on munitions, and the Germans already the one, you know, requiring a lot of it to do anything. Tiger Tank, and then Stuka Close Air Support, which is an alright ability. I mean, it's not going to wow you most of the time. Still, overall, good doctrine. I'd certainly recommend if you sort of think this is mildly interesting, and certainly a good package in the Collector's Edition. Then we move on to the Fortified Armor Doctrine. It's got the Elephant, it's got Command Tanks, Hull Down, Reconnaissance Overflight, and Panzer Tactician. I mean, Panzer Tactician already says, well, this is no matter what going to be an average doctrine. At the very least, it's average. Reconnaissance Overflight can certainly also help, you know, keeping an eye on things as you go about. Hull Down, also handy. Oh, actually, I hate Hull Down. It's pretty much rubbish ability, come to think of it. Spoke too fast there. It is rubbish. Again, it's pretty much parking down your tanks and making them easier to ram for starters. I mean, I'm not really a fan of it. Then you get the Command Tank on the other hand, which is pretty great. I mean, I really like the Command Tank, you know, speedy, aggressive. In fact, it's one of the fastest tanks in the game. Good at supporting your troops on the defensive. And then you get the Elephant Tank. So, I mean, those can actually sort of work nicely together. Plus Reconnaissance Overflights. I mean, you get something that works together here. It can sort of be used aggressively, can sort of be used defensively. But overall, again, why Hull Down? Can't we just get it scrapped or something? Put in something a bit more useful? I mean, overall, again, Alright, and then again, if you're thinking, wow, this is amazing, get it. I cannot recommend it as opposed to the more slower playing players. And so, and again, with Pan Sectation, you can't go all wrong. And again, you can also be using that, yes, Sunday smoking challenge there. So, keep that in mind, Smoking Sunday. Keep that in mind. Overall, this is what you get. It's got some good things, it's got some less good things, I'll certainly admit to that. I mean, this is likely what I'll be going for normally. Spearhead Doctrine, Lightning War, and Festering Armor. I mean, even the old ones, of course, are still not suddenly useless. Again, it's just a matter of what, fits in with your playstyle, and, I rather think this works nicely for me, but again, I really think, Storm Doctrine needs to redo. So there you go. Second part of the Collector's Edition hoo-ha. We'll be waiting, of course, for the Theatre War stuff. Whenever that comes, I'll, of course, be doing a video on that. Of course, I'll also be doing future Commander reviews as well as, they are released. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned something from it. Keep posting comments on what you'd like to see. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.